Well, good afternoon. Yeah, I missed morning. And I'm sorry I didn't show up yesterday, but I was a little bit under the weather, so I had to take the day off. I did try, though. It just didn't work out. So today, as promised, what I'm doing, I did find my book, my Betty Crocker Biscuit Cookbook. Copyright on this is 1976. It has all her amazing recipes in it. So what I picked out to do today, which sounded really good and really easy, really tasty, is the Impossible Easy Lasagna Pie. And I'm doing everything by the recipe with a few exceptions. Instead of ground beef, I'm using ground turkey. And as you all know, back in the day, they didn't use like a ton of seasonings like we do today. All they called for is salt, which was 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and that's it. So what I did, I'm going to put in a little bit of Italian seasoning, a little bit of garlic powder, and that's going to be it, just so I can stick as much to the recipe as I can. But I think it needs that just for taste, or it's not going to taste lasagna-y. That's even a name. So we'll put that. Oh, I can already smell it. Then we'll put our onion powder in. I'm just using a teaspoon of each. Ooh, that fogs my glasses. And then we'll go ahead and put our salt in there. And what I almost used too much, didn't I? What we're going to do is also in the top, which is, the Impossible crust, it calls for 1/2 cup of Bisquick, a cup of milk, and 2 eggs. That's what we put on it after it's all in the pie shell. I also put a teaspoon of garlic powder and a teaspoon of Italian seasoning in that. Because you don't want, crust and things like that. They just need seasoning. Because they're kind of the showstopper. Okay, and what else we have in here? I already told you about the toppings. We have a cup of shredded mozzarella. I shredded that myself. We have a 1/3 of a cup of ricotta. Couldn't think. I'm sorry. And I 3 tablespoons of grated Parmesan. And then we have a 1/2 cup of a chunky salsa, or what they're calling for is a chunky pasta, like a marinara. But I didn't have that. But I did have the salsa. I bet they didn't even know what salsa was back in 1976. Now, what I also had, they didn't call for any onions, green peppers, nothing. So what I had on hand the other day, I made some pico de gallo, if you followed that video. And I made quite a bit of it. So I took that pico de gallo. I'm going to show it to you. I had about 2 cups of it in this container. And all it was is tomatoes, onions, scallions, and orange pepper, red pepper. Not a hot red pepper, a red/orange bell pepper. So we're going to now what we're going to do with this, I set my oven on 400 degrees. I'm supposed to stay in there for 30 to 35 minutes. That's the only changes I made, was just adding the pico de gallo. And instead of the chunky marinara, I'm using a salsa, which I had in the refrigerator. No sense in wasting it. But everything else is pretty much according to the recipe. And don't forget, you don't want to overcook or over-brown your meat, because we're going to be putting this in the oven. So I'm going to go ahead and put our sauce in there. Let me scrape that out real quick. Smells wonderful. Of course, anything with Italian seasoning smells good. So I'm supposed to get this all nice and bubbly, which And this is a quick meal too. What you doing, Andy? You trying to hide your treat? Andy's visiting, and I gave him a treat. And what he does, he runs around the house and tries to hide it. And he has certain hiding places. And Rosie knows exactly where they are. You should see the dynamic between those two and these treats. It's just comical. Okay, let me show this to you. See that? I don't want it to cook much more than that. I just don't want it to lose its color and its flavor get all diluted and dark. So let's turn this off, because that's all we're going to need this for. Clear the decks. I got a 9-inch pie plate that we're going to set this up in. So we're going to put half of this mixture, wrong drawer. We're going to put half of this mixture in here. Then we're going to mix our cheeses and dollop that on top. So let's get that done. Did you find a place, Andy? I think he found a place to hide it. I guess you can make, more and make it a little bit thicker if you want. But this will do for our purposes today. Okay, so we're going to take our cheese mixtures, only half of our mozzarella though, okay? Let me get a container here, because what I'm going to do, get it a large spoon, I'm going to mix the mozzarella, I keep saying mozzarella, it's ricotta. I'm going to mix that with the Parmesan, the grated Parmesan. I didn't grate that myself, I bought it grated. I'm going to mix that. Then we're going to add half the mozzarella, because we're going to put the other half on top. And it calls for a teaspoon of milk. And I did put an extra teaspoon in my cup here so that I would have that. A little bit more. Not quite a teaspoon or a tablespoon. I get my tables and teas mixed up. Okay. Certainly smells good. So let's put half of our mozzarella in here. We want to leave a good bit for the top. There we go. So we're supposed to take this and dollop it right on top, like so. Whatever a dollop is, I guess that's what I'm doing, is a dollop. But a 1976 cookbook, isn't that wild? And you should read the foreword. It's amazing. Almost 50 years old. But I was really struck by the fact that in all of these recipes of Betty Crocker back in the day, they don't have a lot of seasonings. It's just basic, just salt, pepper, very little like onion powder, garlic powder. It's like a look into yesterday. Okay, let me wash my finger off. My hands are squeaky clean. Okay, so let's finish this off and get it in the oven. We're going to put the rest of this on top. Just sprinkle it around. And this is a nice amount for, 2 to 4 people. 2 people with leftovers. 4 people, you'd probably eat it all. And a nice salad would go well with this as well. Yeah, this is a good bit, guys. Now I'm using turkey, ground turkey. Of course, you can use any meat that you want: ground pork, ground chicken, ground burger, whatever your heart desires. Okay, now, so what we're going to do now, set this is, let me show you what this looks like. It already looks pretty. Smells awesome. We're going to take our milk mixture Our milk is not mixed yet. Add our egg. Mix that up. And then we're going to add our half a cup of Bisquick. I hope this turns out. Like I said, I wasn't making this in 1976. So came across it as I found the book and I started going through it. I was going to do some of their desserts. And I thought, no, let's try something else. So this is what I ended up with. It seemed simple, seemed tasty, very easy. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to show you what we're going to do. We're going to just pour this right on top. Just like so. I just don't think I'm going to use all that. Maybe a scant bit left over. And then what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm just going to make little dollops as I go here so that milk mixture and Bisquick mixture can get down on the bottom. Okay. Then we're going to take our mozzarella, the half cup that we reserved. We're going to put that on top. Let me get this out of your way. I guess you can put more if you so desire. There's so many recipes today with, cheeses, cheese. Everything's cheese. I'm trying to get away from that a little bit. I mean, I love cheese. I love recipes with cheese, but, sometimes you just want to get away from it. Okay, so according to this, 30 to 35 minutes until a knife, it says a knife, insert comes out clean. So we're going to do that. Let me get a tray, though, to put it on. Just in case. And this is what it looks like. Remember, 400-degree oven. And here we go. Okay, let me get that oven opened. Whew. It is so hot here today. There we go. All the way in the back. I'll turn my light on. Alexa, set timer for 20 minutes. Now, I always take a cautionary step and set my timer 10 minutes sooner than the recipe calls for because I want to keep an eye on it. You just never know. Ovens vary. Recipes that call for it to be a certain temperature, that can vary the whole 9 yards. So I like to start checking it maybe 3/4 of the way in. So I'm going to clean up my mess. And when this gets close to being done, I'll bring you back. Okay, it's almost done, but I want to show you. It's not quite done, but I want to show you what the oven looks like. It is stunning. And not only that, my whole house smells like a pizzeria. So when I bring that out, I'll bring you back. Okay, it's out of the oven, and oh my goodness, does that ever smell awesome. Let me get a towel so I can show this to you. Okay, Andy. Let me show everybody what this looks like. Can you see that? Yeah, I might be able to see it better. A light on, huh? It's beautiful. 30 minutes exactly it took. 400-degree oven, in my oven. It's nice and firm to touch. Now, what I did, I had, if you were with me a couple of videos back where I made some seeded yeast bread. Well, I had that in the freezer. I took that out, made some toast with it with some butter and some garlic powder on it. This smells like, I don't know, a pizzeria. I don't know how else to explain it. But I hope this tastes as good as it looks. I'm speechless, to be quite honest with you. Let's go ahead and cut into this. Now it's still hot, but you know you're supposed to eat it hot, right? Let's see if I can make a pie out of it. You don't have to, you can just scoop it out. So let's see what we got. It's got a little crust on it. Yep, you can do pies if you want. Look at that. Look at that, guys. Whoa, there it goes. Where am I look? Yum-o. With some toast and a salad would just be phenomenal with this. So let's see what we got taste-wise. Oh my goodness, does it ever look amazing? It's gonna be very hot. Oh. If you want to fool the lasagna gods, make this. You know, I'm not missing the noodles, which is a good thing because there's no noodles in this. You don't have to worry about, you know, those extra calories or wheat, whatever. You know, this is all this is ground turkey. I put the pico de gallo in there, which is the tomatoes, scallions, onion, green pepper. I just threw that in with and let it cook with the ground turkey. And I remember I put that teaspoon of Italian seasoning. I took it over the edge. It didn't call for that, but it just needed it. I don't think you'd get the taste or the flavor without it. The other thing is you're only using a half a cup of Bisquick to a cup of milk and 2 eggs. That makes your crust. And you don't see or taste a crust. Mm-mm. That's just unbelievable. I don't know what to say. Now, you've been with me where I've done recipes to where I told you I just didn't like them, or I would change this or change that. I don't think there's anything I would change with this. I would play around with it and add like mushrooms, for instance, or more tomatoes, or just anything that you want to play around with any kind of a recipe. But I did add the pico de gallo. I think that helped it with the onions. Other than that, and adding a salad, I don't know what else you could possibly do. It's really, really, really good. Now, there's another one in this book. Let me show you this book. And you're going to see this backwards, I know, but it's called The Bisquick. Betty Crocker and Bisquick, and it gives you a story. And it's a 1976 copyright. And it has everything from soup to nuts in it. Now, it also has Impossibly Easy Pizza Pie, the Impossibly Easy Lasagna Pie that we made today, coconut pie, taco pie, easy, impossible ham and Swiss cheese pie. That sounds good too. Easy chicken and broccoli pie. I think I might make this one tomorrow. I'm really on a roll right here with this because not only are they easy, they require few ingredients. Pop them in the oven 30 minutes, you're sitting down to a meal. Plus, you have enough for leftovers if you're only cooking for 2 people. 4 people, this would easily make a meal. And of course, with nice warm roll and a salad, you can't beat it. Dress it up, dress it down, family dinner, lunch, dinner for friends. It's a good thing. So, listen, you take care of yourself. Be kind to one another. Take care of your friends, your family, and your loved ones. And check on your neighbors next door because you never know what goes on behind closed doors. Thank you for visiting with me today. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. And if you like my channel, could you please subscribe and hit the like button to help my channel grow? It would be most appreciated. Thank you very much.